That is crazy.
What the fudge?
Today, the winner of Netflix's The Circle tells us all about that crazy social experiment. AGT superstar Hans dishes on the intense competition this season.
I can win America's Got Talent, the champions!
And growing up hip-hop lovebirds Sam and Egypt break down the drama behind their engagement.
We're hip-hop's Joker and Harley Quinn.
This is your reality check.
We did it!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Daryn Carp, and before I announce my first guest today, I'm going to preface by saying, spoiler alert, because on the line now is the winner of Netflix's The Circle. So if you haven't finished the season, press pause. But for now, for everyone else, drum roll, please. It's Joey Sasso. Hey, Joey, how's it going?
Hey.
Yeah,
I'm doing
buddy.
great, sweetie. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. How's it feel to be a champ, my man?
It's so weird. It's still so weird that this is out in the world right now, and now I can actually talk about it openly. Like, I'm still not used to that, to tell you the truth. It's crazy.
Did you tell anybody that you had won? Like, could you tell your family, or you had to keep it completely mum?
Just my mother, my father, and my two sisters. No one else had any idea. My phone has been blowing up. I have over 250 missed calls, over 400 text messages. I'm trying to get back to everyone, but it's like that type of stuff in the last 24 hours that has just been insane.
I mean, listen, we're all just so happy for you. I want to get into your big win a little bit later because first we have to break down our top 5 stories.
Cool.
At number 5, Kim Kardashian is back at it again with yet another sultry set of pics. After returning home from a recent getaway to Cabo, the reality star rolled out a collection of photos showing off her curvy figure in a burnt orange high-rise one-piece accessorized with sunglasses and chunky gold earrings. She simply captioned the Instagram post, Cabo. The mini modeling sesh comes shortly after the fashion and beauty mogul opened up about cutting back on the sexy pics she shares on social media. In a November interview with New York Magazine, she said, I guess I just don't care as much anymore to want to take tons of photos in a thong bikini. I think I'm evolving to where I don't feel the need to want to keep up. Joey, this seems like the type of picture you would like looking at, but do you think she's being a little hypocritical by saying she doesn't want it and then does it?
I mean, yes and no. I understand how people could take it as that, but also, she's a person, she's on vacation, she probably feels good, she's having a good time, she wants to post a photo just like any one of us do, but we just don't have the following that Kim Kardashian has. I say, Kim, live your best life, baby. Don't worry about anything anyone has to say. You are who you are for a reason. Who cares?
Well said, Joey. I agree with you. And at number 4, there's a new housewife in Tinseltown, and she's got a great sense of humor. Garcelle Beauvais opened up about her decision to join season 10 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on Wednesday night at Sean Penn's Core Gala. She told people with a laugh, I feel like, why not? I wanted to do something outside of the box. It is sort of like my midlife crisis. Instead of buying a Corvette or doing something crazy, I joined the Housewives. And Garcelle has already learned some valuable lessons from the cast, including that she can't let her guard down. She went on to say, because one minute they're laughing with you and the next minute they're throwing you under the bus. Joey, what would your midlife crisis be? Like, you've done reality, you're a champ, so what are you gonna do?
I'm already having it. I'm getting gray hair everywhere. It's terrible. I gotta start dyeing it soon. I mean, it could be worse. I could be going bald, which I don't know how I'd live after that, but look, I understand how she's feeling. A midlife crisis is a real problem. It's not a joke, you know, it's a serious thing.
This is why you put on that black charcoal mask when, you know, you're doing your prepping. You gotta look young forever, right?
It is so important to get your charcoal mask and do it once a week. Please, people, if you take nothing from me, do the charcoal mask once a week. I promise you, you will look so much better and feel so much better. It's great.
Well, you look great, Joey. And at number 3?
Thank you.
Big Mike's watching The Bachelor, and he's got nothing but love for his ex, Hannah Brown, after she crashed the season premiere and confessed that she still had feelings for Pilot Pete. During an episode 2 Bachelor watch party hosted by Mike and Smirnoff Seltzer, he revealed to people that he seriously respects Hannah's decision to return to the show. I think what Hannah did was perfectly her, following her heart, nothing wrong with it. In his interview, Johnson confirmed to people that he is still single, but very happy and preparing for some exciting opportunities ahead of him. You know, Joey, have you ever had any like exes crash your game with a new girl that you've got going on? Have you ever had any drama like that happen?
No, I'm actually really blessed with that. I only have one ex-girlfriend who I was with for almost 8 years, who I grew up with, love her to death, and she's been great even post-breakup. So thankfully, no crazy drama like that in my life.
Has she reached out to you yet about your win on the Circle?
No, not yet. I'm sure we'll talk eventually. You know what I mean? We both have our own things going on, but it's one of those relationships. We'll always be in each other's lives in some way.
Yeah, you guys are family, right? After 8 years, my God.
Yeah.
And at number 2, Wendy Williams is donating to 2 organizations in support of those born with cleft lips or palates after she was slammed for seeming to mock the birth conditions while talking about Joaquin Phoenix. While discussing the Golden Globes last week on the Wendy Williams Show, the host told her audience that she finds Phoenix's cleft oddly attractive and used her hand to pull up her lip above her teeth. This demonstration garnered backlash online, particularly from Canadian football player Adam Bighill, whose son Beau was born with the condition. Bighill tweeted at the talk show host several times over the past week, asking for an apology. On Wednesday, Williams responded to Bighill on Twitter in an apology to the cleft community, sharing that the Wendy Williams Show donated to both Operation Smile and the American Cleft Palate Craniofacial Association in Beau's honor. Do you think that she sort of made up for her mishap on the air by donating to these organizations?
Yeah, and I also think that, you know, when he forgave her, it's great because we live in outrage culture, and I get it, it's warranted sometimes, but she wasn't trying to offend anyone. She's out there trying to make a joke, make her audience laugh at home and in, you know, the studio. Let it go. She also shines some light on a community that might not have had the attention beforehand. So let's look at the positive with it and be like, all right, let's move on, it's good.
I love the way you think, Joey. And at number 1, one of the new Vanderpump Rules cast members is already making headlines, and not in a good way. Several tweets from TomTom manager Max Boyan's past have come to light, revealing extremely racist and homophobic language. One of his tweets from 2012 read, "It upsets me that the N-word is not allowed to be said unless you're black, because quite honestly, it's my favorite word." Other tweets show prejudice towards people of Asian heritage and of the LGBTQ community. In a statement to People, the new reality star apologized for the tweets, saying that he is disgusted and embarrassed. Max has since made his Twitter account private. You know, Joey, I want to ask you, because you were talking about, you know, outrage culture. Do you think he's in the wrong here, and how should he handle it?
I think he's definitely in the wrong. There's no way to defend words like that and speaking against any type of community. I think it's disgusting, but also if he apologized and he's owning it, then let's try to see if he really means it and just move on. I mean, I think we in the outrage culture we live in, we can just really try to end someone so quickly. Twitter's a dangerous place. I know I've said and done so many things in my life that would have people on my back. And we've all had weak moments as humans, but all we can try to do is be better every single day, move on, and hope people in our circle, no pun intended, know who we are so we can move on from it.
Yeah, make it a learning, you know, make it an opportunity to learn something and hopefully get better as we go along. Well, we have to go to a quick break, but
Absolutely.
Joey is sticking around, and we're talking all about that money and more. Circle, take us to break. What a great moment. Welcome back to the show. I've still got Broy Joey, the winner of the Circle, on the line. Congrats again, Joey.
Thank you so much.
All right, so let's get into your time on the Circle. When you were standing there waiting for the Circle to announce the winner, what was going through your mind? You looked absolutely shocked that you won.
I was terrified. I never expected any of this. I thought if I made it to the finale, that was me winning the show. I just wanted to make it to the finale, see one of my friends win, support them. We could all hang out afterwards. And then when it got down to 3 and then 2, and it's me and Shuby, I mean, you see the look on my face. I am absolutely terrified because I never even thought about it one time. And then when they announced it was me, I think I blacked out. I don't remember everything that happened. It was the most insane moment of my life.
Who did you think was going to walk away with it all, if not you?
Shuby or Sammy, I thought were definitely going to take first place, and I would have been so happy with both of those.
Well, what are you going to do with all the money? I know you wanted to refurnish your apartment, but I heard you have a movie in the works.
Yes, so a lot of people have been finding out that I'm an actor. I've been out here in LA since I've been 18, living the struggling actor life, and I finally made my passion project after 7 years. We're in post-production. This happened a year and a half before The Circle happened. So now I'm gonna put half the money away. So I have a cushion, because I'm still a bartender, still doing that lifestyle.
Smart.
So this way I have something down the line, but I have to also finish my film, get it out there, and hope that this opportunity and this platform can really open the doors that weren't open to me before.
Well, I mean, I bet you all the doors are going to open for you. I just want to double back on something you said when you said you would have been happy if Shuby or Sammy won. Would that meant that you wouldn't have been happy if Criss or Seaburn won? Did you feel like they somehow didn't deserve it as much as Shuby and Sammy?
No, I would have been happy for Seaburn or Criss. I loved all four of them equally. I just felt like, based on my final ratings, the communication that we had throughout the show in The Circle, those were my favorite two people that I would have loved to see crowned. But if it was the other two, I would have been just as happy, but, you know, it would have been just a little bit different. Shuby was my boy. Sammy's like a sister who I love to death. And Seaburn and Criss, I mean, still to this day, we're all so close. So there really wasn't a negative outcome with any person winning. It was just a complete shock that it was me. I still really cannot believe it.
I mean, your reaction said it all. Now, you know I have to ask you about that kiss, Joey. That kiss! But before we talk about it...
What kiss are you referring to?
We're gonna watch the moment. We're gonna rewatch that for you.
Let's do it.
I am crazy attracted to you.
Just get out of here.
Is there any chance you would want to give me a goodbye kiss?
I would love to.
Does this have to end, though?
I know, I think it does. But you got this. I really do believe in you, and I know you're gonna win.
All right, you're the only you won. First off, you won The Circle, and you're the only one to walk away with action. First off, how was the kiss? Second off, you know she's not blonde, right? And thirdly, why didn't you save her?
Okay, it's a lot going on right here. Okay, number one, the kiss was amazing. Amazing. Can't say enough good things. I didn't know she was not blonde until, you know, after the show had ended. I really thought she was blonde. I must be colorblind or something. I don't know. And I didn't save her because, unfortunately, she just came into the game too late. I mean, that was a prime example of why The Circle can be so difficult. You have personal feelings that you really feel to be true, but then at a moment's notice, you have to realize this is a game. And if I act on my emotion and personal feelings, I could really take myself out of this, where I don't want to do that. So I had to make a really terrible decision, and it killed me to do it. It really killed me to do it.
Well, what drew you to Miranda in the first place? I mean, I know you guys had some flirtations, and she got some eggplant emojis from you, but what was that initial draw about?
Just the way she approached our first conversation really threw me off guard. I wasn't expecting that at that point of being in the game. I hadn't had any conversations like that with anybody, and it threw me off. I felt her vulnerability, and I felt comfortable to be vulnerable with her. And from that moment on, I looked at her completely differently. It was one of my favorite moments ever of being in The Circle.
Well, when she walked into your apartment, which I'm sure was shocking to say the least, did you find yourself even more attracted to her than you had been previously?
Oh my God, she walked in smiling, looking so beautiful, not like someone who just got blocked. You think she just won the show. And then she sits down, and I just feel like a deer in headlights, like I am such an idiot. I'm so sorry. I don't know any other way I'm gonna make you forgive me for this. And we ended up sitting there talking, and there was just such a connection. It was palpable. You could just feel it. And I am not one to ever kiss somebody that quick, ever in my life. But with the circumstances, I didn't know if I'm ever gonna see this girl again, and I would regret it if I didn't at least put it out there, because the worst she could say is no. And if she would have said no, that's fine. I'm still going to call you when I get out of here, whenever that is.
And you're still on the show. You know, she was still going to be blocked regardless, so you might as well. You had the chutzpah to do it, Joey. I like that. We talked to her on Monday, actually, and she said you're still her number one. So what's going on with you two? Are you guys dating? Has she met the family? What's happening?
So, first of all, since the show came out, my entire family has added her on Facebook, put posts up that, welcome to the family, you better be here Christmas time. Every single person has reached out to her, which I knew was going to happen when the show came out. But as far as our actual relationship, I don't like to confirm or deny anything with anyone just because it puts an expectation out there for people. And you're never going to make anybody happy. Some people will love it, and then say if we were together, let's say, we weren't together, then some people hate you, like her. You know, it turns into a thing where I feel like people found both of us on the show. They seen that we have something really genuine and sweet, and I can tell you I adore that girl. I love her to death. We are so close. I would do anything for her, and she's definitely a constant in my life, and whatever anyone wants to take from that, you're more than welcome to.
Well, I love both of your relationship together, however you define it. Now, you said that you saved Rebecca, a.k.a. Seaburn, because of your relationship with Shuby. Now, looking back, would you have made this same decision?
Absolutely. I wouldn't have changed anything. It was harder in the moment thinking if I should have done something differently, but watching the last 4 episodes of the show, I think I played it perfectly, especially when they're showing other people's reactions to who was blocked, saying, why would you do that? Why would you take that person out and not a power player? And then why would you put it out there to everybody that you're the one who did this? You could be sneaky. I think those are all the easy approaches most people would have taken. And I think it's those tactics I took in the game in the end that really won it for me.
So do you think Shuby actually had a crush on Rebecca? Because viewers absolutely
100%.
thought so.
100%. I don't care what he tells me. I've talked to him about this. Look I love him to death. He's my brother. He says openly he gets uncomfortable sometimes when he flirts. And he keeps throwing in the sister thing after he has a big smile on his face like you would not believe. And look, I don't blame him, Shubes. If it was me, well, no, I can't say that. If it was me, I'd say I did. But if I was Shuby and it was me, I would just say, what are you going to do? It's my sister. It's someone I care about. Let's be honest. He was crushing on Seaburn. They were in love. We all know it.
Well, let's take a look at the clip for when Shuby finally meets Rebecca, a.k.a. Seaburn. I love his reaction. Let's watch.
There's someone coming in.
Shuby.
Joey?
Nope. Rebecca.
Oh, my little Shoobster. Why do you think his reaction was different for Seaburn revealing himself as a catfish at the end of the game versus Sean, who was revealed only after a few days?
Because I think he was in love with Rebecca. I mean, or at least he liked her a lot. I mean, come on. I think he thought at the end of this, we have a connection. I maybe can't. You sit in your apartment, you start thinking things. I mean, honestly, we all did it being there. You probably sit there and think, I got a girl I met who's really sweet, who I can look in her in the eyes and tell her how I feel about her when there's no cameras, when everything's done. I can't wait. I'm going to put on a nice suit and look nice. And then you see Seaburn walk in, and all of a sudden, you realize every single thing you've said and done has been on camera. Everyone's gonna see it, and you gotta just go with it and accept it, because what are you gonna do? I mean, it's a terrible situation, but it happens.
Do you think Seaburn felt bad?
Yeah, I don't think Seaburn felt bad, because he shouldn't, because we all knew the game we were playing. I think he felt bad that he made it to the end the way that he did, and felt like some of us would maybe take it like he duped us, but I didn't feel offended at all. That's why as soon as I met him, I said, I got to say congratulations to you. And I gave him the biggest hug, because you got to know at that point there's got to be a chance someone isn't who they say they are. And he made it all the way through, having a good time, laughing, being himself, and he did his thing. You gotta say congratulations, buddy. You killed it.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he got to that head of the table, so you got to give it up to him. Well, we had Karen, formerly known as Mercedes, here the other day, and she actually left you a message. Let's take a look.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Karen, aka Mercedes. And just between us, who was the first person you thought was a catfish?
All right, Joey, who did you think was a cat? Who do you think was catfishing first?
Antonio. Antonio. I love the kid so much now, but everyone has said, why did you have a problem with Antonio from the start? What was the reason? Honest reason was this. It was day one. I knew people weren't who they said they were, and his profile just threw me off guard. I just said, he said a professional basketball player. I don't watch NBA or sports, so I wouldn't even know if it was LeBron James. And then he said, they call me Chef Antonio. Now, little things throw me off, and that just made me lose my mind, and I'm going, nobody calls you Chef Antonio. That is not a thing. That is not a thing. So for the rest of the time he was there, I didn't like him. I thought he was fake. And that's what's great about watching it back, is he thought I was fake, and you would never know that. But it's something as small as that when you're judging people in the circle that just throws you off.
I know. You even judged him for his emoji use. It was like a hot dog and pizza, and you were like, "This guy's not a chef." No. I was like, "Wow, Joey, going in."
Yeah.
No.
Can't. I mean, come on. Everything you say or do in the circle, it means something. So those emojis, I took them to heart a little bit, and I said, a chef is going to use those emojis. I call BS. You are not who you say you are. They're a catfish. And then, of course, I found out that I was, as usual, wrong about like most things in my life, and felt terrible, and just felt like, my God, I feel so bad. I talk so terrible about this poor kid. How am I going to ever be forgiven for this? Because it was really bad.
Well, are you still friends with everyone who was on the show? Do you all have a close, tight-knit circle, if you will?
Oh, my God, yeah. We are all so close. We have been since filming Wrapped. We have a group chat that we all talk on daily. We've been waiting to get together because we weren't allowed to talk to each other, communicate, anything social media. And now that the show is all out, everyone knows everything that happens, we can really just be friends and get together, post stuff, talk openly and freely. It's just, that's what makes the experience so much for me, and just having these friendships that I never would have had if I hadn't done the show. It's something I really think about often. I feel so blessed to have each and every one of these people in my life.
How has the show changed your view of social media in general?
Hasn't really changed my view much, to tell you the truth. I've never been one to judge somebody, and I've never been someone to validate myself based on how many followers I have or how many people comment on something. I think social media can be great. It's great for me to keep in touch with my friends and family back east, but I think once you get to that level, which so many people are at, of really not being okay with yourself because you're not where you want to be on a profile, I think that's upsetting, man. I think if anything you should take from the show, have fun, always be yourself, and don't do anything you're gonna regret. Conduct yourself online like your parents would like to see, like you would like to see 10 years if you look back on your life and say, like, sometime, we've all done it, when you look back at like an outfit you wore years ago and you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's just think this through, let's have fun. There's definitely a reason that it exists, and I'm happy about it, but don't make it so serious in your life, guys. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it really isn't. Well, honestly, I can't wait to see everything you accomplish with all that money. Joey, thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. If you haven't watched the whole season, or if you want to rewatch it all, the entire season of season 1 of The Circle is available on Netflix. So we have to go to break, but when we come back, we'll be growing up hip-hop with Egypt and Sam. Stay tuned.
When Egypt met me, that's what I was. I was just crazy. She became a part of my world without having to be a part of that stuff. Her love made it harder for me to do bad. We are just a love story that we can never part. We're hip-hop's Joker and Harley Quinn.
Welcome back to the show. Joining me now is the hot couple from Growing Up Hip Hop, Sam and Egypt. How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
It said cute in the prompter, but I'm going with hot on this one. I'm going with hot. So are you guys still in the honeymoon phase of being engaged, or starting to argue about what the wedding's gonna
We
look
haven't
like?
even left the honeymoon
Yeah,
stage
that's
since
what I was
the
about
day
to
we
say.
met. So it's kind of been like
Lucky.
just
I know,
stays there.
I know. People are like, so is your phase over? I'm like, I mean, we're still in that. We're happy.
Yeah, we're stuck there.
Yeah, and not a bad place to be stuck.
Yeah,
not.
we're
It's
always
not at all.
cupcaking.
Well, let's talk about the most recent drama on Growing Up Hip Hop, because a lot of people seem to be against your relationship, let alone your pending engagement. It even brought TT together with Troy and Brianna despite their differences. Let's take a look at this.
Egypt don't really talk to you like that anymore.
Because I've been so against the Sam thing. She doesn't, like...
Egypt doesn't talk to you?
Not in the same way.
That's that controlling. First of all, one of the signs of like mental abuse and emotional abuse is when somebody cuts you off from family members.
100%.
What's your response to this, guys?
My response is that obviously it was shown that TT said because she was distant is why I wasn't, and showing what she was.
She was distant.
Yeah, because she wasn't trying to support and trying so hard to push us away from each other. Yes, I'm not gonna talk to you the same because I truly don't feel like you love me to that extent where you can be happy for me.
Right.
When I say I'm happy. It's not a controlling situation. Like he said, don't talk to your cousin anymore. Yeah, that's not what happened at all.
Nah.
Right.
I'm not that type of individual.
Yeah, no.
I mean, coming from Brianna, it's even more funny. The one
Yeah.
who mentally and verbally abuses everybody. So it's kind of funny to me.
Yeah, you're taking it with a grain of salt. You're not letting it bash the relationship.
It never affects us in any way because we know our truth. We know how we treat each other every single day and how we literally pray every single night to God before we go to sleep. And then when we wake up, we're just grateful that we wake up next to each other.
Exactly.
Well, have they come around to support your relationship at all, or is there still sort of tension there?
There's some family members who definitely, they come around and like,
Yeah.
you know, like they'll come and see us from time to time. Like, you know, Tyran's been out to Vegas to come see us. You know, I train with him every time he's in town or every time I'm in town. You know, Mom is always supportive.
Yep.
TT, she's been to Vegas,
Yeah.
but still hasn't came to see us.
She hasn't even
once,
seen
so
us.
we don't know.
I had to
with
find
her.
out through somebody else. I was like, you
Yeah.
came to Vegas and you didn't even see me? Like, certain things like that, I'm like, I feel uncomfortable. I want to be close to you, but I feel like...
It's awkward.
It's awkward.
It's awkward, definitely.
Well, luckily, your dad, Sam, seems to be supportive. Let's play back this clip from last week's episode.
Before you met Egypt, you did 5 shows. Then all of a sudden, you dropped off the face of the earth.
Got caught up.
I don't think you got caught up. I think you got lazy. You plan on talking to Pep and talking to Tretch about actually making their daughter your wife. Right. You got to be able to take care of her, not the other way around.
Egypt, I want to hear your opinion about this. Do you think Sam got lazy with his career when he met you?
No, honestly, he literally was always a determined, motivated person. So he was supposed to be my artist developer and develop me as an artist. That's how we met. But I got vocal nodules and I had to take a 2-year rest.
Massive
and I couldn't
break.
sing. I couldn't even talk. So I was like, babe, you need to push yourself and you need to do what you got to do because I really physically cannot do this. And he just didn't want to seem like he was just trying to...
Taking the light. I'm just coming into the family
I'm trying to help you
she
out.
gets nodules and it was just like, if I go in, try to like take that moment where I'm like, okay, she's saying focus on me, show people what you got, but then everybody's sitting there like, so now all of a sudden Sam's
bad timing.
here.
Like, it's just
super bad timing.
But it just looks like nothing came out of it just because of what I was going through. Like, he was literally with me for a year. When he realized I couldn't sing anymore, he didn't dip and say, okay, you're no use to me.
Nah, I switched her over to rapping.
He switched, he
I was like, you
said,
man.
He was like,
time to rap.
Yeah. He was like, you need to rap. It's in your genes. You need to rap.
I was like, you need to rap.
Like, I guess.
She recently did that too. She recently had me like start working on myself and like pushing myself. She's like, it's your time. Go now.
It shows you guys are a good couple together. Well, Egypt, your mom is also very much on board, and it was so sweet to see her gush in her confessional. Let's watch that.
It's just starting to hit me like, damn, like, my baby's about to get proposed to. Something that she always wanted. I'm gonna miss it. I wish I was there for that moment. It's a little sad.
Your mom is a goddess, first off.
She is.
I mean,
You see it?
I mean, I was like, she looks younger than me. All right, let's just say that.
I'm looking forward to the 50s,
That's what I was
man.
getting. That's why you're with her, because you know how it's
I
going to
see
be.
the longevity
You're
with the beauty. It's going to be here forever.
I get it. Now, how does it make you feel watching this play out? Were you surprised at her reaction, or you always knew you had her support?
I always knew I had her support because they have a great relationship together. A lot of people can't see it, but she calls him more than she calls me.
Well,
like I was like, what?
He's pretty cute.
I'm like, hi, Mom, I'm right here. How you doing? But you forgot about me? Remember?
Yeah, you're like, I'm your kid. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
But no, it was, I just was so sad because I can't give out too much, but she was saying, because she had a show and everything, so I just love that she's always been there for me, and no matter what, she will always see through anything. And the fact that she does support him and realizes that she can trust my opinion through anything when I say I'm happy, and she sees it for herself, just means the world to me. So when I saw that, I was like, this is everything I've always dreamed of when I was a little girl.
I'm so happy you both have that support. You need it, especially in a relationship, and it's good to come from parents.
I know. It would be so hard without parent support. It would be so hard.
It would be annoying.
It would be annoying, yeah. It'd be annoying
against the whole world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sam in Egypt, thank you so much for being here today. Catch Growing Up Hip Hop tonight and every Thursday at 9, 8 Central on WeTV. I can't wait to see what happens when Sam asks Tretch for her blessing. Woo. Up next, I'm chatting with the amazing accordion player, AJT star Hans. Stay tuned.
It is all tied up with one vote each. Howie, it's all up to you right now, Howie.
I'm just gonna go with my gut. Originality wins.
Hans! We're going with Hans!
Welcome back to the show. On the line now is a superstar known as Hans. Hey, how are you, Hans?
Daryn, darling, hello, how are you?
Yes, I'm loving this look. What did it feel like when Howie broke the tie to send you through to the semifinals of AGT The Champions? It must have been a great moment for you.
Well, you can see on my face there was a little bit of shock. I think if you pause it, you can exactly see the moment where I kind of go, is this really happening? Or am I just thinking, have I left the iron on at home? I don't know. I mean, what is it? But no, I was very, very excited. I'm ready for the next round. And I have to say, if you thought it was over the top in round one, get ready for it. It's just the warm-up. It's just the warm-up.
Whew, what a teaser. You know, some people on Twitter were upset that you advanced to the semis over Junior Creatives and Jack. What do you have to say to the haters, Hans?
Honey, I have to say, oh my gosh, people being upset on Twitter, that is something so new. I mean, please, dogs always bark, don't they, darling? It never happens. It never happens. I say there's a lot of things to be upset with in the world recently. You know, J-Lo wasn't nominated for an Oscar. People are driving their cars into the Vanderpump restaurants. I say, get a grip, get a life, get over it, and I will see you in the semifinals.
Well said, Hans. I want to talk to you about that performance on the season premiere. There were bananas, sparkles, feathers, confetti, and so much pink. It was so Hans. Tell me about the inspiration for all of this.
It was a little bit Carmen Miranda. I mean, you know, the song was called Juice. It's the Lizzo song. So I thought, you know, we'll give them some actual juice, a bit of a fruit-inspired theme. I just thought, you know, this could be my first and last time here, so you've got to give them everything. But now I've got a challenge because I've got to top it. So, I mean, what's going to happen? You have to wait and see.
Simon's face says it all. Did it throw you off at all when Simon hit his buzzer?
You know what, Daryn, I have to say, Simon Cowell. I mean, an Englishman hating on a European. This, I think, what we are seeing here, these are the effects of Brexit. They're in play here, darling, yes. You know, it's a political time we're living in. I can't help it. I mean, you know, I'm just lucky the other three loved me, so...
That's true. That's true.
And this is the good thing about the champions. Really, Simon Cowell, his opinion means nothing this time because it's voted by the super fans. And if I can get them on side, then, you know, I'll be ready. So yeah, I think Simon just, you know, he likes a bit of the drama, and I think he was really just trying to fill in time on the show, really.
I think so.
Honest.
It's all Brexit related.
Yes.
I know that. Well, speaking of Simon, I have to play this clip.
Am I coming off too sexy?
No, because he's a sexy one. Look how many buttons do we have open today?
Simon's showing a lot of chest, I must say.
Talon is so hot, I had to lose a button.
My God, he's practically begging me for a date. I mean, hello.
All right, Hans, I gotta ask, would you take Simon on a date?
Where would I take him? That's a very good question. Where on earth do you take Simon Cowell on a date? I mean, I would be willing to extend the olive branch if it was, you know, forthcoming from Simon. A date? Well, look, let me just say this, Daryn. I've done a lot worse than Simon Cowell for a lot less. I will say that. I will say that. My ex-boyfriends read like the who's who of human garbage. I'll be honest. I'll be honest here.
That's so good.
I'm not proud, but we do what we can do, you know?
Let's just hope Simon's gonna pay for the date, and then you'll go on it, no problem.
Let me say this for you, darling. When you're on a date with me, you always end up paying in one way or another, be it financial or otherwise.
Well said, Hans. Thank you so much for chatting. Good luck in the semis. We're rooting for you here.
Dankeschön, darling. Thank you for having me, and I will see you very, very soon. And prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. That's all I'll say.
I'm buckling up. Catch AGT The Champions Monday nights at 8/7 Central on NBC. Up next, boxer Zab Super Judah and his ex-wife Meda Leacock are joining me to talk about their new show. Stay tuned.
When I met Zab, I actually thought he was Floyd Mayweather. Nobody hardly knew him at that time. As the girls came and the money came and the wins came, he turned into a whole nother Zab that I just didn't know. We ended up getting a divorce, but we cordial now.
Oh, what's up, Meda? Make yourself useful.
Dang, a divorce don't change nothing, huh?
Welcome back to the show. Get ready to rumble because sitting with me now is the legend and champ Zab Super Judah and his ex-wife and Wonder Woman herself, Meda. How are you? Who's gonna win in a fight between the two of you?
She gonna
Definitely me. She's gonna kick your ass. I know it. I saw it. I could see it coming in. You're intimidated by her. So am I. How the two of you doing?
Oh, we're doing good.
We're good. We're much better.
Yeah, much better. You guys are cordial.
We are great separated, right?
Yeah. Better separated than together. Well, you two star in a digital reality show called Boxer Wives. I gotta ask off the bat, does every Rocky have an Adrian?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah?
Pretty much. Yeah.
You need the woman behind you rubbing the shoulders and keeping you going in the ring?
Yeah. I mean, it takes up a lot of frustration.
Yeah, it takes out a lot. And
Or it can bring a lot of frustration.
what is it here? Is it given or is it taken?
It depends on which woman is rubbing the shoulders.
Fair enough. Fair. I like the way you think. Well, let me ask you this. What does it take to be a really good boxer wife or girlfriend? How do you support?
I think that it takes patience, right? Because we're dealing with, although they're tough, we're dealing with a really emotional being. So they're like in the ring, they gotta like annihilate their opponent. Then they may have wins and they're happy, and they may have losses and they're sad, and they may have, it's just ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. So as the woman, you gotta be able to deal and bob and weave with all of that, you know?
It's a roller coaster.
Yes.
Yeah, you're bobbing and weaving just like he is.
Exactly.
Is it hard to sort of get him watched, like being punched or hurt or?
I think that I control my emotions when he's in the ring. So I've made myself so hard from it that it's just like, it's just work for me. I'm just watching a movie.
Right.
A TV show.
Doesn't seem
something.
real almost.
It's work. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I try not to get into the fact that he's actually being punched.
Yeah, it's got to be hard to watch.
But I know that it's hard because I see a lot of the women at the different fights.
Yeah.
And they're like crying, their head is down. Me, I'm like, you better get back, you better do what you gotta do. Like, that's my face all day.
That's because I was winning all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it helps when you're with the champ, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Is it distracting to see any of the wives or girlfriends cry or be upset? Like,
Well,
or you're not thinking about it?
Well, this always lets me know that I'm doing good. When I look out and I see my opponent's wife or mother crying, I know that I'm doing a good job. So.
Oh, I love it. You're such a fighter. I love this. Why did you guys decide to do a reality show together? That's a pretty big step, considering all you've been through. Why a reality show?
I think that at the time there were so many reality shows coming out. Yeah. And I felt like
we need a seat at that table. We're just as great as a sport. What the women go through in this sport is probably even harder than what all the other sports and their wives go through. So why shouldn't we? And boxing is like a single sport, so we don't really have the friends and the women, the sisterhood that football, basketball, they all live in the same neighborhood. Right. So it's a single sport. So I may not be friends with too many wives because at any given time, he would fight their husband. You understand what I'm saying? So when I'm looking for wives now, I gotta call him so he could call other boxers so they could call their wives.
Oh my gosh, I never even thought about it like that. Yeah. Have you ever fought like some of your friends, and do you put emotions behind when you're fighting your friends, or you just try and separate?
Well, it depends on what the check looks like.
Yeah, fair
enough. If it's a good enough check, you don't worry about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I gotta beat you up for free.
Kumbaya, dinner on Sunday.
Yeah, right, exactly. You know? If I gotta beat you up for free, then it's like, it was nothing worth it. I'm like, this is just emotion. Like, I gotta be emotional and just beat you up. That's not cool. But if we're making a lot of money, then hey, you get your family, I get my family, we might go on vacation after.
Yeah, it's business. Yeah, right, exactly. Let me punch you in the eye, but we'll go to Hawaii.
Exactly.
All right, well, Meda, you're an executive producer of the show. Does that make it easier when you have creative control, or a little bit harder?
Well, I still feel, even though I'm an executive producer, I'm still fighting as a woman.
Yeah.
Every day, trying to fight through all the men that I have to deal with. But it does make it easier because I'm actually also producing it. So I'm putting the scenes together and I'm putting everything together. I try to give myself just as much heat as I give the other women.
Right.
But I also try to stay, in the middle as well.
Are they going to come at you and say, like, oh, you didn't give me a good edit? Or is he going to be like, you made me look like I'm a bad fighter or something?
We had it the whole time. So people would be like, oh, take that scene out. I don't want that in. You made me look crazy. And I'm like, let me tell you something about reality. We can only get what you give us.
Right. You're not feeding lines.
I didn't make this up.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing about reality is people are like, oh, it's fake. I'm like, no, they're saying this on their own.
You recorded that. I just had the camera and said go, and you gave it to me.
Yeah, right.
So
it's on you.
It's not me.
Yeah, right, exactly. Now, Meda, you and Zab's new girlfriend seem to get along fine, but you guys met in sort of an awkward way. Let's watch that.
Is this Zab's ex-wife? This is not happening right now. I'm dating Zab Judah, known to you guys as Super Judah, 6-time world champ boxer. So you know you gotta take off the robe, right?
We can't paint through the robe.
You know I'm gonna play it off, because I'm gonna do what I have to do. This is money, whatever. We'll figure it out later.
Now, Zab, looking back at that, how would you have wanted them to meet earlier or anything like that? Like, did you like how it came out to
I think the way they met was fine. I mean, I don't think that it was bad, it was raunchy or anything or bad. And, you know, it's my girlfriend, met my ex-wife. And
right. You didn't want to have to break up a fight.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Yeah, but you know what? I found it kind of be, you know what I'm saying, mature of them to be able to be amongst each other.
Yes.
Still co-op, you know what I'm saying, make business happen and not have feelings. I think it's very beautiful.
It is very beautiful. You're right. Are you guys still good on good terms? You guys still like each other?
Yeah, we're cool.
Yeah,
you know,
cool.
as long as she's good, she makes him happy. She's cool with my daughter. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have my own life. I feel that women that don't get along is because there's something lingering.
Yes, exactly.
And so, you know, I have love for him. I'm not in love with him.
Right. He's an ex for a reason, right?
Yes, exactly. And it's her turn.
Vice versa.
It's her turn for it's her turn for the knucklehead.
Yeah,
like,
right. She's like, you know what? You can have him.
Oh, girl, you got this.
Did you warn her about anything? Any
No, no one warned me.
Well, in episode 4, you revealed that your daughter Destiny made the decision to join the armed forces.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that and how's she doing?
Destiny is actually fine. We went to her graduation last week, and she was Iron Soldier. And Iron Soldier is basically you get the highest scores, the highest PT scores. You're the strongest person in the whole graduating class.
Well, that's not
surprising. And they walk around with this big Thor hammer. So.
Really? She just wanted to do that. She was
Her platoon is called Avengers. Yeah. So they have names, each platoon. So hers was the Avengers. So they gave her the you know that
the hammer,
thing, the hammer.
Yeah,
the Thor hammer.
So she has to walk around. She had to walk around with want that everywhere.
You guys must be so proud.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
She takes after me.
Yeah, of course she does. She doesn't get anything from it. I'll tell you. That's what we wanted to say. He knows it too.
I'll wait till the cut.
Yeah. Wait till the edit, right? Zab and Meda, thank you so much for being here today. Catch up on the first season of Boxer Wives on Bossip.com and Bossip.com's YouTube page. But don't go anywhere after the break. We're going to give you another Throwback Thursday. What an amazing show today. Reality Check streams Monday through Thursday on Twitter at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you're following @People so you don't miss a thing. You know, we talked about catfishes in the beginning of the show, so what better way to end it than with a great catfish moment in reality history? I'm Daryn Carp, and that was your Reality Check.
Here comes the car, guys. All right, who's inside?
In this 2013 episode of Catfish, Artis is about to meet Jess in person for the very first time.
Uh-oh.
Despite currently living with his girlfriend and 3 children, Artis is ready to blow it all up for someone he believes is a beautiful blonde woman. But turns out, Jess is really some dude named Justin.
Are you Jess? Yeah, I'm Jess. You're Jess? Yeah.
A catfisher determined to expose online cheaters.
I started seeing guys like him who are already in a relationship. So I was like, you know what, I kind of have this power to use it for something, use it for good.
Justin's unsettling slow clap is one of the greatest moments in reality history. And although we're not so sure Artis agrees with us, he did learn an important lesson.
I learned my lesson. Really teach me to leave the internet alone. But with me for right now, I ain't telling nobody else to leave it alone.